the value of open data to the economy is somewhere between $3 and $5 trillion a year.
The standard orthodox ways of thinking about the world are failing us.
As part of the Restless Features programme, this democratising innovation strand is really about new ways that we can think about working together with the tools and materials that are available to us because of technological innovations and because of the availability of data.
The standard issues of rationality, of neoliberal economic systems are limiting us in thinking about how we cope with these new restless futures.
Open data is data that's open and free for use by anyone for any purpose.
The way I see it, there's three kind of key elements to this. There's data as an art material, there's data about the cultural sector, and then there's data that is cultural media itself. The area I'm going to focus on today is the data as an art material.
The premise that art and design has a significant means of contributing to these debates is going to be played out through a series of about 20 events over the next year.
We should think about data right now as those early synthetic polymers that were invented in the 1930s and the 1940s. And it took a generation of industrial designers in the 1960s to really understand the material properties of those plastics to create the kinds of consumer goods and products that we consume today. This is the state we're in with data right now, and I expect that a community of students should be doing the same kind of material explorations with data that those early industrial designers were doing with plastics.
This is a piece of work by Ellie Harrison. She hacked this old 1980s vending machine so that it listens to the BBC news feed, and it listens for terms that might reflect a recession. And when it receives terms, it says, oh God, something bad is happening, I'm going to dispense a packet of crisps. And so it provides you with a snack if there's some bad news.
The iconic products of the future are going to be made of data.
The core of our work is to design experimental computational devices that are often for the home. In London, over short distances, you get this kind of high density of contrasting communities of different ethnic and economic backgrounds. And the culture barometer aimed to reveal this sort of social texture of neighbourhoods surrounding the home. We placed 6 devices inside a participant's home, and a weather station that was mounted outside the home controlled web scraping software collecting fragments of messages drawn from loot.com. But how they appeared was influenced using data from the local wind conditions.
As data is playing an increasingly significant role in shaping our society, I think that it's very important that we consider the kind of social and political impacts of data, and in particular to think about how art and design students can use it to develop their own practices and contribute to the way that we shape society.
If the web in the early 90s told us anything, it was that openness works. It's the open standards of the web that make it such a success.
Often innovation is tied up in systems of expertise and is not made available, and that we feel that there are ways through co-design, through community collaboration, that innovation can be shared and developed in partnership with society.
How are we going to cross-skill, whether it's leadership or coding or understanding design, to really understand what the potential of all this is, because that's the really exciting bit. We're creating our own infinity here to explore it. So whether we end up 3D printing something in the morning that we actually eat at lunch that contains the data, who knows, but how exciting.